we are honored to showcase the keynote session from a passionate personality who is a Ukrainian Montessori educator and a medical doctor. She is a founder of the NGO Montessori Ukraine, which unites Montessori educators from Ukraine and other countries, including Indonesia, spreads the Montessori method. She is Anna Volokhova representing Ukraine. Her session title is Montessori Education During the War. The stage is yours, Anna.
Thank you so much, Anusha, for the kind presentation of me. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having fun and you are enjoying the conference and getting a lot of knowledge and, soaking everything. I will share my screen to show you the presentation. Here you go. Okay. I hope everyone can see it, right? Yep, good. So my name is Anna Volokhova, as Anusha mentioned, and I'm the founder of Montessori UA. And today I will speak to you about Montessori education during the war. As you know, our country right now is going through a lot of different moments. Since February in our country, the full-scale war started, and we are figuring out what to do. And I mentioned earlier, and I will say again, that I really hope that this session will never be relevant to anyone. This is weird thing to say, but like, I really feel like I need to share this with you guys, just in case. So first, I would like to invite you to go into the imaginative experience. I'm inviting you to close your eyes and to imagine that you are sleeping, you're in your bed, and you wake up from the sirens, from the very loud noise, and from the sound of explosion somewhere not far. Um, or you are sleeping and you wake up from the flight that is flying very close to your house, like you can feel the way the house is shaking. And the question is, what would you do if war comes to your country? Mm, Now you can open your eyes and come back to the reality. We are in our safe places, in our safe homes right now. But this is just a glimpse of the feeling how people felt in Ukraine when it started on 24th of February. So this is a very frustrating moment. People don't know what to do. They don't understand what is happening, and even though they managed to build the education during this time. So I would like to share how to do it with you. It's okay not to have answer to this question. What would you do if war comes to your country? That's a big question to process, right? And you don't need to have an answer because it's impossible to have it immediately. It's just something you figure out on the way. So I will share our experience, and I will repeat myself, but I hope it will never be relevant for you. So the first thing is safety first. The first thing everyone did was just making sure they are safe. And if we're talking about like the emergency level, um, you just need to make sure that you have a safe space to go. And by safe space, I mean place that has two walls that are not connected to the surface, to the street. This will help people to, in case there will be some explosion, they will be safe because second wall will protect them. Usually this place is like corridor or bathroom. So this is something to know and advise in case of emergency. But what is next? So I've collected experience from Montessori educators from different areas of the country, including those that are very close to the hot line of the actual war, and those that are closer to the center of Ukraine. And the most important part is to make sure your family is safe. And for that, like if there is a very hot area in your city and it's really physically dangerous, um, there are two things to do: hide or escape as soon as possible. And if the situation is moderate, you can hear sirens and explosions, but you don't see them. It's just important to find a safe place, like a basement of the building, and to make sure that everything is organized there for leaving in case situation will become worse. That was the first step, safety. Then we come specifically to education, as education is a weapon for peace, as Maria Montessori stated. That's really important to support education during the war. So the second thing to do is the support of the children. Children are extremely frustrated from this situation, because if us as adults do not understand what is happening properly, and they like parents, all the adults are just trying to uh, figure out what to do and to make big decisions, like are we moving from the country or not, are we moving from the city or not, what are we going to do? Those are big decisions that should not be made in one day, but this is what parents are experiencing. And children, they have many questions, but they cannot ask parents, or they are asking but parents cannot answer because they don't know the answers. So it's really important to support them psychologically. And what our schools were doing during this first week or 2 weeks, they immediately contacted the psychologist that they knew, and that person was contacting children every day, just to establish connection, just to talk to them, just to listen to them. And also that was a safe space for them, where they could see each other, see peers, see other eyes of children, and not only scared eyes of parents. And they could exchange their thoughts, they could ask their questions, they could just wonder, they could distract, everyone could find anything, something personal in this thing, in this group. So it was very, very relevant for the children. And the next step, after a week or two, that's important to also engage parents into psychological support. Why it's this sequence? Why first children, then parents? Because at first, parents are very busy with thinking what to do next. And during that time, it's really important to support them, to get children, like just to help them with the children. Later, when parents already figured out, from our experience, after 2 weeks, people were like, they were understanding what to do next with their lives. They decided to stay or they decided to leave. And those who decided to stay were invited to the what is called co-working. So what our educators came out with is they provided free of charge. Of course, schools were closed, so they provided free of charge invitation to join the school, just to be in the school, to work from school online and remotely, and to be with their kids, because parents were very afraid to just leave their kids in the kindergarten in case something will happen. So it was very valuable for them. So the teacher was taking care of the children, and parents were taking care of their jobs and their things they need to do, whatever they were doing there. And that helped a lot, because it united people so much on the city levels, especially in small cities. We have Montessori schools in small cities, and those schools made a brilliant work. They all united by making the circle together with children and calming them down with this enormous power of unity. They were preparing lunch together, and parents were helping to make sure that the environment stays okay. At this point, if you are a teacher or the head of the school, there is no need even to have a staff members, like in case they're still figuring out what to do. This is something that can be done by one person, because you have parents, you have many hands to help you. And also it helped them um, to go through this, because parents also could talk with each other, they could support each other. So those 3 steps are those are the urgent things to do. The co-working for parents was done around second week, after parents realized, and teachers also realized, that okay, we're not leaving, we're staying in this city. They decided that okay, we're moving from online back to the school. Doesn't matter if we will not open right now as a school, like in the normal way, but at least we can all stay together and do the best possible physical environment for children, because they can touch all the things, they can work, they can do the routines, and that will also help them to calm down a little bit. So these are the first steps. And for the next ones, I will join with you the quote from Maria Montessori. Directing our action towards mankind means first and foremost doing so with regards to the children, to the child. The child, that forgotten citizen, must be appreciated in accordance with the true value. His rights as a human being who shapes all of mankind must become sacred, and the secret laws of his normal psychic development must light the way for civilization. So we are, as an educators, we are really here to support the child, and the next steps involves the answer on the question how to support the child in this situation. So as I've mentioned, the previous steps could be done by one person. Even you can conduct the psychological meetings with the children, just to listen to them, to talk, to ask them how they are feeling, and to do some art and craft online. That's okay. But anyway, at some point you need your staff, and that's when you come to the step safety for the staff. So what you do is connecting to calling to your colleagues, asking how are they, and figuring out if they can come to school. One of the problems with the war is that people are leaving the country, including educators. So many schools in this 9 months in Ukraine also changed the staff, like the team completely changed. So this is something you should be aware of and be flexible about, that probably there will be new teachers and they need to grab it fast. So it's important also to give them some, first aid explanation on your specific method that you're working it with, or in our case it was Montessori. So you collect the staff back to the team. And the second thing is protection of the work cycle. In the Montessori, we have such thing as the work cycle. This is the 3-hour period of time when during this 3 hours, the child works with different materials and naturally establishes the concentration, the needed concentration for life. He just works and continues to dive into his work, and it makes him very busy with what he's doing. And right now in Ukraine, during all these 9 months, we have such thing as sirens. This is a very loud sound that is also repeated on our phones. And it means that there is a risk of bombing right now, and everyone needs to go to the shelter, which is the basement of the building, to stay safe. And with schools, it's very hard to do so, because you have small children and you need to gather them and to bring them to some basement in basically 2 minutes, which is kind of impossible. So, and another feature of the Montessori classrooms are big windows. I don't know if you've heard of that, but this is something very typical for Montessori schools, to have a big window so children can observe the nature, they can see the weather, they can just enjoy the view. This is something very typical, and also they can clean it. But in terms of war, it turned out to be a very dangerous thing, because if there is something happening around, there is a big chance of just explosion of the windows, and it's not safe for the children. So this is why the basement is recommended for all the schools and preschools, and basically for everyone. So what was done is protection of the work cycle in the schools. Many schools temporarily changed their location and went to the basements. Specifically on this picture, you can see so this is the basement of one of the malls, and that place was just luckily found by one of the founders of the school, because the business left. So the room was empty, and they just brought all the materials there. You can see that there are no windows at all. There is just the glass door, but because it's underground, that's safe. And the most importantly, children could stay there during the sirens. They could not hear them in the basement because they are underground. And they were protected, like the concentration of the children was protected. So they were able to work without interrupting to go to the basement and to come back. They were able to work for 3 hours and to accomplish their working cycle, which was very important for them also mentally. We want to protect children not only physically, right? We want to protect them mentally, and this is the important step to fulfill this. So this is this is a very important step. And the last but not least is to keep them busy. But by them, I mean not children. You might think that this is about children, but like, come on, we're trying to keep them busy all the time, right? This is about parents and educators, to be honest, because when it's war around, there is a lot of anxiety and stress. People are constantly not sleeping well due to the sirens, because it wakes them up at 4 a.m. and they need to go to the basement. People are constantly questioning themselves. So how to keep them busy and a little bit distracted from what is happening? Our schools came up with many ideas. There were many holidays, many celebrations, small celebrations of the days, celebrations of the spring, summer, and autumn, and those kind of things. You can actually connect it to any cultural celebration that you have. But here is an example of color weeks. They come up with color weeks. It means that that children and teachers both need to come wearing the same color clothing every day during the week. So that was a yellow week, and it keeps busy parents and educators, because they need to figure out, okay, where I should find the yellow clothes for my child. Okay, and teachers are like, okay, I need to come in yellow tomorrow, but it should not be the same. What can I do? So they are busy with something else, and it gives them it just frees their head. It makes them free from thinking of this horrible situation. And this is what really helped and still helps them to sustain in the kindergartens. And also it can perfectly work with any age, actually, just even with teens. It's not so important. The most important is to give them some tasks that they need to figure out. Maybe colors are easier for children, with the small children, but with teenagers there are also many tasks that can be done with them, like taking care of the park that is close to your kindergarten, to your school, or social, involve them into the social work. And there is a lot of social work going on while there is a war. Another thing, here are more examples of the color weeks. So it can be a great activity basically for 2 months, and you can even extend it for 3 if you're creative with the colors. And as you see on the pictures, both teachers and parents and children enjoyed so much, and that also makes parents happy, and distracts them from all the issues of the war. So I would also, so this is what schools are doing, and this is how they are handling the challenges of the war, right? And now I would like to also share information about the current situation, because I would like to tell you that teachers are dealing with the children and with the parents, and what is our organization doing is we are dealing with the teachers and we're trying to support them. During the last 9 months, according to the official data, more than 1,000 children were killed, and these are just those that were counted. We have many cities that didn't that were not deoccupied yet, so we can actually understand the whole number, but that would be much higher, include like if we think about big cities such as Mariupol. And so far 819 preschools have been damaged, and 82 were completely destroyed. This is the freshest data based on the Ministry of Education of Ukraine. And so what Montessori UA is doing, we teachers work with children, we support teachers. What do we mean by support? There are many ways, and I will tell about them just now, but one of them is to show the support of the international community, of you guys. And so what we did during the summer, we connected many Montessori educators, and we asked them to just to send the 2-minute messages for us, and we collected them all into the movie, and we called this Peace for Ukraine movie. You can watch it on our website, and also I can show the trailer. I'm not sure how much time do we have. I don't think we have time for that, but like if you're interested, you can go to our website or to YouTube and just type Peace for Ukraine movie and you will find this. This is something, and we launched it on the International Peace Day. So it was a present for our educators actually, and they send us so many nice warm messages that they feel the support of the world, and this is so important for them because they are doing enormous work right now, staying and continuing to work with children and to be present mentally and physically. This is just like, they are my heroes, and I think they're the heroes of the whole educational community of the world. So yeah, we presented them this movie. If you're interested, go and watch it. Other things that we do, we connect with the international educators and speakers, and we manage to do meetings and workshops for our educators, so they are also like, they have something to distract them with, and they have something to learn from, because as I've mentioned earlier, there are many new members of the team that they want to be a part of it. They decided to stay and they really want to be great educators, but they have lack of knowledge, right? So we are trying to fulfill that gap and to give them knowledge by creating workshop. Right now, we organize a course for 500 educators from Ukraine. This is the AMI training, and this is like the foundational course of the Montessori, of the International Montessori Association, that is right now on a free basis available for 500 educators from Ukraine, and we really hope it will help them to to feel better and to fulfill that gap of knowledge. And we already see, like, it started 1 week ago, and we already see how much it helps. We receive a lot of messages of gratitude from them, and it's just like, we drop the first rock on the water, and then the waves will go away and we will see the result a little bit later. And What also we did is we united all the Montessori schools of Ukraine into an interactive map. So parents and educators can see which schools are available nearby. And also, I can show you the map. Wait a second. Let me know if you see my screen right now.
We can see a screen.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the map, and like you can click on the region and you can see all the schools. And also if your school is not here, you can add the school. So this is done for parents and for teachers, because if teachers are still around, they can choose the school in their area. And if parents want to send their child to the Montessori school, they can also choose the area and choose any kindergarten, and they can see all the websites here. So that's very interactive and like very simple for usage. We were trying to make it as simple as possible. And also we created the chat for the heads of the schools, so they can also interact with each other, to send materials to each other, to send advice for each other, like to support. And it's also easier to send some kind of, like if there is a speaker that wants to speak with the heads of schools, we just send it to that chat, and it's easier for them all to make sure that they know about everything that is happening with the Montessori in Ukraine right now. This is our mission and our vision. I see that the time is running out, so just a quick review. Our vision is Montessori UA, harmonious education for all generations. It means that we really want to provide quality education based on the science to as many people as possible. And it's not only children, that's also parents, that's also teachers, and also in future, we're planning to work with adolescents and with the elderly. We want to establish like a good network for all the ranges of age, and this is what we're working towards. And here are the ways of support of Montessori in Ukraine. If you are wondering and you want to support, here are some ideas. You can provide articles, workshops, or courses for translation and collaborative learning. So we are translating articles to Ukrainian and putting them on our website. If you would like to share your article with us, we would be happy to translate it. And also, if you have any ideas for meetings and workshops, we're also open for all these opportunities. Support public Montessori mission is something we're like right now we're establishing public Montessori in Ukraine because we want it to be accessible for everyone. So if you have any connections in the public sector of Montessori, if you know any experience from this field, please feel free to share with us. You can send me an email or text me on the social media. And another thing is connection with international school leaders that are willing to support schools in Ukraine. So I will speak about this on the next slide. And financial support is always necessary, especially during the war. Yeah, so if you have opportunity and desire, we will deeply appreciate this. And what is a connection of your school with our schools? So we designed this this PDF that you can download on our website. This is how the button looks like. It's located on the MontessoriUA.com donate page. I will also share it with you. So this is the page donate, and here you can download the PDF for free, and you will find the instruction on how to create the fundraising among parents in your school by basically selling art and craft from your children. So what we suggest you to do, we created the lesson plan about Ukraine for all the schools all around the world. Here are some visuals, and this is the information about Ukraine, and it also involves some videos, so you can make it interactive for children. Like there are just two pages, but that's more than enough for children to understand something about Ukraine. This is not war-related content, it's just the cultural content. And also there is the printable for art and craft session. So you can also, like, there are ideas for toddlers and for 3 to 6, where you can, like, what you can do with the children, and how you can make them busy and how you can keep them, like, basically this all involves fine motor skills. So, and this is all about Ukraine, and there is a small explanation about each of them. So you can, what you can do is you can make the small session about Ukraine, about the culture. Then you can do the art and craft session, and then you can fundraise based on this art and craft pieces, like to make the, like the gallery, the auction. You can do it in different ways. This is all in the instruction. So yeah, if you feel like you would like to do that kind of thing, also feel free to contact us. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm ready for the questions.
Thank
And
you,
if you
Anna.
want to connect, here are the links to our social media.
Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you for your heartwarming and engaging session. And as you mentioned,
Pleasure.
education is the best weapon for peace. And thank you for sharing the experiences of the Ukrainian Montessori educators. And I would like to share with you some of the messages from our attendees. So Tal Janasha writes, know the feeling as a life experience in Israel. I sympathize with you completely.
I'm sending love to you. Can I also, like, I will answer to them if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
I
Please.
feel you, and all the like, we really want to connect with Israel, and we really want to make connections and ties with trauma therapists from Israel, because I feel that we don't have many trauma therapists in the world that work with this issue. So feel free to connect me. I will drop my email in the chat box.
Thank you. And Neelam Samdani writes, I cannot imagine what children and families go through in such times, but I hope and pray they come out resilient and not permanently scared.
We are working on that. Thank you so much. We really want them to become still and strong, to come out with this experience strong, not angry, this kind of, like, it's really important for us.
Thank you, Anna. And Sobita Johari writes, it's unimaginable how everyone kept their focus and was able to continue the daily responsibilities.
It is. It's really hard to imagine, but the Ukraine is so big, and in this specific presentation, I shared the experience of many schools. So it's not like one school established all of these things. It's this very spread experience, and it's really hard for people to come up with each step. But I'm really grateful to each of them for doing that. That's amazing.
Thank you. And Kevin McCormack writes, education is the greatest weapon. And
yes.
And Sobita Johari again writes, hats off for the commitment to contribute. And Neelam Samdani questions, a question that comes to mind is, how can we as the global educator community provide support to maintain sanity, a sense of normalcy, and continued learning?
Oh, so one of the most important thing is to support educators at this moment. Like, if something like this happens, you need to support educators, not only children. Of course, children first, but also don't ever forget about the educators. Unite them, put them all together, make them feel valuable, make them feel like family with each other. Right now, we're translating books of Maria Montessori to Ukrainian, so everyone feels that they are also united with Maria Montessori in a way. And the first book to be translated is Education and Peace, because it's like, we would really like this book not to be relevant ever, but unfortunately it is. So what can we do?
And Diana Korober shares, my husband is Ukrainian. I'm so sorry that you have to go through this.
Oh, then you probably feel it even more, because, like, if your beloved one goes through this, even if you are not like right now I'm located in Istanbul. I'm not located in Ukraine, so I'm it but still, even though I'm far away, it's still very, very touching. Like each siren is so dreadful, and I'm just speechless about how it feels. So my support to your husband. Thank you for sharing.
Teresa Boki writes, wow, you're the best teacher, so your students believe on you and enjoy their learning process.
Oh, we really hope that. Thank you so much for your comment. We really hope it will help children to at least to feel like plus minus the same way as they do. We understand that it's impossible to beat the happiness level that we had previously, but we are trying. We are really trying to get to it.
Sonia McPherson says, hats off! Hats off to Anna and everybody. Then Umara Mihnahaji writes, great work, highly appreciate your efforts to support the community.
Thank you so much.
And Didi Bell from the United States of America writes, extraordinary work. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us, and thank you for your work.
Thank you so much for your comment. We are really trying to do our best.
And Lily Ann Kregler from Australia says, you are a shining example of contribution to humanity. Thank you so much for this beautiful presentation. And Ianu David writes, great work. This is encouraging us to do more. And
that's really relevant. Thank you so much. Yeah, we love to encourage people to do more.
Teresa Boki from Indonesia writes, thank you very much. You're the best and inspiring us to think and do as a teacher for students. Addie Ronki Lakey writes, thank you for the session. And her sides writes, thank you. Tina Sharma writes, thank you, Anna. And then Adri Ronki Lakey questions, how are you coping with schooling at this present period?
How are you coping with schooling?
Yes.
Me personally, I'm as a head of as the founder of Montessori UA, I'm not working in the school right now personally. I'm just trying to establish the network between Montessori educators that are on the field right now, because someone needs to do this. And if I have opportunity to do this, as I'm in a safe place right now, this is my choice to be full-time on this volunteer job and do this instead of working in the kindergarten. And also I feel that would be unfair to the children from my side, because I understand that I feel that right now I can do much more by doing what I do right now comparing to what I would do with one group of children. So this is kind of my choice.
I'm sorry, I have to mute her. I'm really sorry. Continue, Anna.
That's okay. I think I finished. This is just a choice.
Well, we have Alexander from Ghana writing, wow, this is brilliant, Anna. Thank you so much for sharing your typical experience. We stand with you in prayer. Peace be unto Ukraine.
Thank you.
Nisi has a question for you. I have a question. What do you think about gun culture in America? What about violence and gaming, bursting crackers during festivals?
I think this is the issue, really, this is just the cultural thing related to the history of USA. Each country has their own features, and what we actually experience right now in Ukraine, that children start to also play with guns and play like they are playing against Russia and stuff like that, which is that's not much you can do with it. This is the way of processing things. From our perspective, we see it this way. This is the way of processing things. So this is just the thing to observe and to find the calm time when the child is not playing, obviously. But when the child is calm and settled, and during the dinner, or I don't know, anytime you feel this is appropriate, to ask, I saw you're playing this game. What does it mean for you? Just to understand, what does it mean for the child? And based on that, you can think further what to do with it and how to But usually it's just the way of processing things. So maybe if the child sees the guns and hears this kind of stories, or I don't know, sees it on Netflix or somewhere, this is just the way of processing these things.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. Ambi Joshi writes, thank you, Anna. And Adrenaluk again writes, our love and prayers are with you, present to Ukraine. Dr. Pratima Khandelwal writes, this presentation is true illustration of grit and resilience in these tough times of war. Great job, Anna and team. Simon Ipanji writes, I can't comprehend. Back home in Cameroon, kids have been out of school for almost 5 years due to the civil war and unrest in two English-speaking regions. It has been quite challenging for teachers.
It is really challenging. Yeah.
Lauren MC writes, thank you for staying positive for all those little lives whose safety and sense of security rely on you. Cheryl Saha from India writes,
I will just tell one more time that I really hope it will not be relevant. I really hope that this war will be like, it really feels like this is the war of democracy against authoritariety, and I hope the democracy will win and we will be done with war for the next century. Please, let's pray for that, because yeah, I hope it will not be relevant for any one of you.
Cheryl Saha from India writes, heartfelt experience. Thank you for sharing with us. Silvia Granucci writes, thank you. Gravin McCormack writes, Montessori rules.
I saw this.
And we have Ian David saying, thank you so much. Christy, thank you so much. And we have so many loves for you. And I do have a question for you. Yeah. So before you say goodbye to you, young children have a much deeper traumatic impact in their minds during the war times, like you mentioned.
For sure.
To mitigate these adversities, stories could have therapeutic healing roles. Stories not just distract children away from the stark reality, but also add pleasure to the speaker and listener. So what is your take on this matter?
So, like, the work in the classrooms right now is very different. If before there was just like children were working and they were going through some thematic topics, they were discussing some features of the culture, of the nature, and learning some emotional skills, of course. But right now it's mostly all the circle times, all the themes are based on the social emotional learning. So children are learning how to work with their emotions. They have a lot of anger, for example, and what teachers do right now in the classrooms, they for example, even during the circle, they give the piece of paper to every child and tell them, okay, imagine this is everything that makes you angry on this paper, everything, and now just make a small ball from it, like make a ball. So they start to smash it and to do all this handwork, and then the teacher asks, how do you feel? Okay, you feel better or not much difference. What to do next? Let's stand up, let's put those pieces of paper on the floor and let's step on them. So they step on them, and that's also like the physical release of the aggression and all the emotions. This is just the way to help them to regulate, even on the physical level, on the level of hormones. And in terms of psychological level, psychologists are present, even though they are not online yet. Like in the beginning it was all online, but still after, psychologists are coming to the school every week. They speak with the children or they speak with the teachers and give them advice on how to work with specific different situations, because the way children perceive the rules right now, they perceive everything is very different. The main reason is, this is the question from one teacher that really drives me, it took me to the bottom of my heart when one teacher asked me, what can we do if the child, I tell to the child, please use your kind words to your peer, and the child says, no, I will not. Why I should? If even the politics are not doing that, why I should do that? and she was asking what I should answer to him, because I don't know what to say, because that's true. So, and this is like this is that kind of anger we're talking about. So we're really focusing on giving them many physical activities and many physical games on how to proceed that, because it's like it's still very fresh, it's still ongoing. So we're trying to heal the trauma on the way, and I'm afraid I don't have like the very broad answer for you on how to, you know, how to work psychologically with them so everything is stable for them, because they are not there yet. Like, we have a lot of work to do, and that's why we really want to connect with the Israeli colleagues, because they have this experience for years, and we really want to follow it.
I asked this question because I do storytelling live every day, and that stories take you on a therapeutic journey. So I really wanted to get your take on this. Thank you so much for your answer. And I do have another question for you, Anna. Practicing
Okay.
yoga, physical and breathing exercises early in the morning can add a positive vibe and energy to them. So have you
For
ever
sure.
practiced them during the war?
Yes, of course, we do that. I mean, I think each school does some kind of practices, but I know many schools that start their day with a circle, like the physical circle that basically is yoga circle, where they share their gratitude with each other, what they are grateful for today, and they do some physical work, which is based on yoga, very much. And in terms of storytelling, I would like to tell you that, like, the period of war is very, very fulfilling for artists. So right now we have a lot of new games and new stories based on what is happening there, but they are not like bloody stories or scary stories. No, they are like therapeutic stories for children, fairy tales, and this is what teachers are reading to the children, and they are, of course, they're trying to make it as much as interactive as possible. And Anusha, if you are interested in giving us the workshops on storytelling,
I am interested. I am interested. Me.
Yeah.
I'm interested because it is such an amazing experience when I read stories. I just fulfills my day, and I've been doing it for a year consecutively every day. Live.
Oh yes.
I do live every day, and I take a book and a tripod with me wherever I go, and I just start my story, and it's just so amazing. And the voices I make and the voices I read, and I share the messages and the feeling. It's so amazing. And I really feel that it can help your students to overcome all this adversity, all these traumatic experiences. I really feel that, and I will be honored if I could read stories for your students. Please, like, have that opportunity.
That's a deal.
Amazing.
That's a deal.
Thank you so much, Anna. If you have any more questions, ladies and gentlemen, please register yourself in the chat box, and you may connect Anna on educationinfluence.com as well, and we will have this session recorded and uploaded to our platform. We will showcase this session as well, so you can connect with Anna and direct message her if you
there is also my email in the chat box, and using the opportunity, I would like also to share my gratitude with Gavin and Anusha, both of you, for inviting me to this conference and to be present here with you. It's really, really valuable for me. Thank you. And if you like, Anusha, it's a deal for you. And Gavin, if you want to do any kind of workshop or meeting with our teachers, I would also appreciate that. And I believe everyone would. So consider.
Thank you, Anna. And Tina Sharma writes, please share your blog. So if you have any link to your blog or website, please do share the link.
And Anna, can I just say one thing and jump in? Thank you. That was a beautiful presentation. We are thinking of you all the time. It must be so difficult. We can't even imagine what it's like to be there. But I will say this, that we've seen this before in this community, that if you need anything, you reach out, and these people in this meeting and all the education influencers around the world will rally together very quickly. and we will do everything we can to help you. So if there's anything that you need, you just reach out and we will do our best to help.
Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Nisi.
Thank you.
And we've
Thank you
got
so
our fingers crossed that peace is just around the corner.
Thank
We
you so much,
believe so.
Anna. Thank you, Gavin.